Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another television review. Of course, Sunday we are going to be talking about P Valley. This is season 2, obviously episode 6. We are digging deeper into the skeletons of Chucalissa. This episode was entitled Savage. But I argue that the episode should have been titled The Ties That Bind. Okay? Stay with me here. Stay with me here. This is going to be another in-depth review. Before we get going really good, I want to invite everyone who is new to my channel, who is new to the Miss Honey way of doing things, to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscription bell if you're not already a member of this channel, subscribed to this channel, and don't forget to comment down below. Gather little ones, let mother tell you a story. Okay. Ooh. Now we're gonna go by characters in this review today, right? We're gonna talk first about Keyshawn. Now y'all know we had a whole episode about Keyshawn last week. It was all about Keyshawn, how Keyshawn met Derek, how Keyshawn was brought up, how Keyshawn got to where she became Miss Mississippi. All right. This week we see Keyshawn without the lashes, without the hair, without the skimpy costumes, the colorful eyelashes and fingernails and all of these things. She's just Keyshawn, a baby mama with 2 babies, living on, in row housing, an old shotgun house with Derek, and being abused by Derek. And this is after she has found out about Rome, that Rome went on to see the Lord, right? Not to be with the Lord, but to see the Lord, because we had to all go past him, right? And so Rome is going on. He's no longer a worry, but this also puts everything else at stalemate. Like, we don't know if she had all the paperwork, if Rome had all the paperwork. Like, I mean, Rome getting cut off the way he was cut off, it didn't give her a chance to argue for her share or her portion in court. You get what I'm saying? So she back at square one as far as she's concerned, and she's looking desperate and she's feeling desperate. All right. She talked to Lil Murda on the phone, and he want to know how she doing, what happened with Rome, what's going on. And she's like, look, I got something to tell you. Rome tried it. What do you mean tried? He tried it on me. And also, he knew about you. How did he know? What do you mean about me? Like, this is Lil Murda. How? What? I'm sorry. Could you be more? And she said he knew about you. Okay. And then she got to get off the phone because Derek is standing in her face. Who you on the phone with? That was Lil Murda. He wanted to know about the funeral arrangements for Rome. Oh, yeah. Poor Rome. Rome was a good guy. That's what Derek say. But don't worry about money, because I got a lot of different job interviews to mess up. lined up, and that's just a little bit of hope, right? And even though it don't pay no bills or feed no put no food in no bellies, I still got hope that I'm gonna get a job. I'm going on a meeting right now. You want to come? And she was like, well, no, I better not come because I got these 2 black eyes and these choke marks around my neck and these 2 broken ribs. I best stay here with our children. He was like, yeah, you know what? You right. You right. You right. So he go on about his way, and she decides this is the moment. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to pick up and I'm just going to go. And she goes into the wall of the house where she done hid her pistol. And she got a little piece of pistol, and she gathered her babies and put her bag together and loaded them up in her Toyota Tercel, except he done disabled the car. Derek done disabled the car. Now she was smart. She left her phone there on the living room table so that if he tracking her, he won't know where she is. Like, she got it all planned, but she didn't plan for the fact that he had disabled her vehicle. Okay, she can't go nowhere. So just as kindly and sweetly as she loaded them children up, she got to unload them and go on back in the house. And she don't really have a plan B. She didn't really have a plan A. She just, testing the water, seeing how far, how much she can do. But she got to do something. So now she's sitting there and it's dark, and she done fed her babies and put her babies to bed. And she thinks to herself, I know what I'll do. I'll take this gun, and as soon as he walks through the door, I'll kill him dead. Them lights hit them windows, and that engine, she hear the sound of that engine, and then it go off, and she loses her nerve, and she takes that gun and tucks it down in the sofa. Hopefully she remembers to go back and get said gun, because this how children end up. Tucks it down in the sofa. He comes in and wants to know what she been doing. You been sitting here all day. I've been tracking you, and you haven't left the house. And she said, no, I just decided to stay around here. And he asked her a couple of, well, why? What's going on with you? You all right? You okay? Oh, I'm fine. You all right? You okay? You doing all right? Okay. Oh, yes, I'm fine too. Don't worry, we gonna be together. And he sits down and pulls her close. And that look of dread in her eye, baby. That look of dread in her eye. Whoo. I said, oh my. The ties that bind. See, Keyshawn got a lot of ties that's binding her, that's got her bound up. She got 2 kids, right? She got to see about her 2 children, right? She got poor self-image. Okay. Responsibility. She got poor self-image. She's got an abuser for a baby's father. And she got fear. She's scared. She ain't pretty enough. She ain't thin enough. She ain't light enough. She ain't good enough. It was poured into her as a child growing up in her household. Now it's being poured into her as an adult. Right? It's definitely a tie that is rooted deep down into what she got going on. See, you need a plan. You need a real plan, Keyshawn. Right? You sitting there like a prisoner of war. A POW, except you sleeping next to your captor every night. Oh no, you need a real plan. You need one of them players like Jennifer Lopez had in the movie Enough. Sleeping with the enemy. You need one of them plans. Yeah. You need one of them plans, Keyshawn. Let's move on, okay? Let's go on down to the Pynk. Listen, Big L is not getting paid. And Uncle Clifford is at war right along with Big L against Autumn. Big L done turned the water off. She want to know what's going on with the water because she got somewhere she got to be. She dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight. She got somewhere she got to be, and she trying to get showered and changed and ready to go. And Big L done turned the water off. And Uncle Clifford sitting there, and he's just as happy about it, baby. And he done pulled her dress that she wearing for the night out, and he got it dangling in front of her. And she want the both of them to get off of her back. She trying to accomplish something. They feel like, no, you trying to get out here and sell the paint from underneath us. And she's like, look, I'm trying to get money for all of us. Okay, and Clifford said he just want to cut her off. He can't stand it. He want to cut her off at the knees. He want to get rid of her. He want to go down to the police station and turn her in. And Big L reminds him that no, she didn't pull that trigger. She didn't cut that body up, and she didn't hide that body. That was us. Okay, we can't get rid of Autumn that easily. Can't do it, right? Okay, where Autumn going? Autumn going down to Corbin and Andre's fundraiser. They got old Eyes Wide Shut / masquerade type situation going on down here at the White Folks Country Club. And she done got dressed up like Jessica Rabbit, including the hair, and slithered on down there. And Andre's giving an impassioned and bold speech in front of all the good white folks, and she's standing in the back with the moonlight cutting through that dress. This is an old smoky scene, right? And she's like, I got a question. And she's standing back there with that moonlight beaming through her legs, looking all sexy and sultry and cinched, pulled together, okay? And Andre knees buckle a little bit, you know what I'm saying? She asks a couple of questions, and he retorts with an impassioned, emboldened, and blazing speech of empowerment and dignity and respect. And the white folks love it. They just love it. Oh, we get to put our money behind this Negro. This Negro who has pulled himself up out of the muck and the mire. This is like charity. This is charity for us, and we're so excited about it, you know. Okay, Corbin can't stand it. All right. He trying to figure out how you got in here. Did you invite her, Andre? Andre said, no, I didn't invite her. And he tells her, you're not going to ruin this for me. This is what Andre tells Autumn. You're not going to ruin this for me. Like you ruined the auction for me. Like you did this, that, and the third. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm staying in control of myself. Okay? I am in control of my joy and my peace and my soul and my pain. Not you, Autumn. And Corbin's like, let me handle this. You go talk to the good white folks down in the cigar room and see if you can't bolster up some more residual funds for this campaign. Andre's happy to walk on off because he didn't believe half the ear she was saying no more than we did. And Corbin gets Autumn by the arm and drags her out. You know what I'm saying? Get over here. Get off me. Get off me. Drags her out and tosses her out, right? She stand out there smoking, waiting on opportunity, okay? And opportunity pulls up in the form of a Karen, looking like Mae West and talking worse. She pulls up and Autumn throws that cigarette down and sidles on upside of her and calls her by her whole name. And then ingratiates herself with her. I'm so sorry to hear about your husband, the passing of your husband. Mae West say, I'm not. I'm not sorry to hear about it at all. Ooh. Okay, and she tosses Autumn her coat and tells her to get me a rum and coke while you're at it. She thinks she the coat check girl, but Autumn is an opportunity girl, right? She walks right on into the cigar room with Mae West and sits down next to her. Gives her that rum and coke. And Mae West said, oh, long as you keep bringing me these rum and cokes, baby, you can sit right here with me. And so Corbin and Andre go to make their pitch. And she is not, my name is Corbin Kyle, and I am. She said, is that supposed to mean anything? And this is also Andre. Listen, I don't care about all that. Let's talk about my money. The money I done put down for this casino. Okay, Promised Land, and I'm in charge of Promised Land and all things Promised Land, okay? Now that my husband is dead, I want to know what's going on with it. I want this mugger ducking casino like I was promised. And the white guy is there, and he's like, I feel as though, she's like, shut up. Okay, and Corbin is like, I promise you, and shut up. Autumn said, listen, he offered me, the white man offered me 40,000 for the Pynk. Okay, and I got other people making offers. Unless it's a real good offer, or let's say $10 million or so, I feel like the pandemic and everything that happened at the auction was fortuitous, because it positions me to get more for my property and what it's worth. And Mae West said, oh, so you're not just a hat check girl, huh? All right. Well, I want to do a little business with you. My name is Lakeisha Savage. This is what Autumn saying. You Haley, you Lakeisha Savage. You all these here. Autumn the stripper. You all these these many things, right? And she gives Haley a wink, and she says, I have no problem negotiating and giving you what you're worth, and thinking and talking about a better offer. Autumn was like, okay then. Okay. And she tells Autumn, I got my good eye on you, and I look forward to talking to you more in the future. Of course, Corbin and Andre are fit to be tired. Here you go again, wedging yourself in the middle of our business. Huh? I mean, and Corbin has gotten very, very comfortable being aggressive, okay, verbally abusive, a classist, okay, sexist, manhandling. He's gotten real comfortable with that this season. Later on, Andre go on back to the house, and as he walks in, he got Corbin on the speakerphone, and Corbin going on and on and on and on about what kind of low down trash Autumn is, and how she's always sticking her nose in, and he's sick and tired of her, and it just makes him want to woot in the shadows with a billow of smoke. Jessica Rabbit is sitting there. Andre say, I gotta go. He gets off the phone, and I'm finna let her have it. Ooh, with her sexy red supple lips and sculpted body in this dress that looked like it was poured over the top of her like hot chocolate, and this red wig and this satin smooth beige skin. Ooh, oh, I'm angry. And also my penis is hard. Oh, he tries to give her what for? You always try to ruin me. You always try to tear me down. Somebody's projecting. Somebody is projecting, aren't they? Oh yes, you yelling at Autumn, but you also yelling at that wife back over in Atlanta, right? Huh? Yeah. You always try to hold me back. You always try to. I'm like, you've only known her for a few months, sir. What is you talking about? What is you talking about? But he's projecting, and he's angry, and he's spittering and sputtering, and he's putting her out, and she gets to the door, and he tells her, I'm not going to let you do it. She said, don't let me do it. Huh? I've been a bad girl, Daddy. You must punish me. He was like, I will punish you. She was like, how will you do it? How will you punish me, Daddy? I mean, she is giving him full Jessica Rabbit. Pouty lips, tooting the hips out, the whole nine. And she said, you just tell me what you want me to do, huh? You tell me how to do it. And he said, you take off your dress. And she was like, slips that dress down. She got on an old matching two-piece underneath it. And he said, crawl over here. And she said, crawl. He said, crawl. She said, Okay. He scoops her up and smells like sin and regret and beguilement. Baby, she beguiled him. gets him in that bedroom and lays him back across that bed and slides them pants down a little bit. And when she got it at full salute, baby, she climbs up that pole, huh? And when she get to the top, bloop, shoo. Okay, huh? Oh yeah. What you gonna do is whatever Miss Autumn tell you, you gonna do, huh? That's right. That's right. You punishing Miss Autumn. You letting Miss Autumn have it, aren't you? But you also gonna sign on the dotted line where Miss Autumn wants you to sign, aren't you, Daddy? Oh yes, he is. He's in charge, isn't he? He's a big old bad in charge. Who is the boss, huh? Who's the boss of me, huh? Yes, you're the boss. Man, Andre had no idea dipping his stick in Autumn, was gonna be yet another tie that binds him. He already got one tie, right? One tie that's binding him, and that is his need to be heard, his need to be seen as a leader and as in control. See, the devil know your weakness just like you know. Sometimes he know before you know. He's identified it before you can identify it. And she knew what she needed to do was make him feel like that he was in charge, that he was in control, that she was not once again wrapping him around her finger and playing him out for fool, right? This is what she does. She lets him have a little bit of control, okay? When all the while, all the while, she's whispered in his ear, letting him know, yeah, you the boss. That's how a boss screams. Yes, that's how a boss moans. Is that shivering? Oh, that's the shivering of leadership, I feel. Yes, oh yes. Oh, Andre has no idea. He's inherently weak. Okay. He don't even know his own power. Okay? And we know that he doesn't know his own power because he rarely ever executes it. He rarely ever shows us him being in a position of power. So you ain't got your goddaddy Mayor Ruffin there to breathe into your ear to stoke your fire and get you worked up like he did when you was a child. Give you those empowering conversations. You don't have that wife who wanted you to do what she wanted you to do. She wasn't supporting you and your dreams and your ambitions. And then you got Corbin. You just a means to an end because he's got his own agenda, and that's the height and the breadth of how you fit into things. You all are not friends. You're not partners. You're being used once again. And you got Autumn. And she is beautiful and lovely and smart and intriguing and out for herself too. You're inherently weak. It is a tie, okay? It is definitely a tie that binds, right? You got Big L, you got Uncle Clifford, you got Diamond, you got Mercedes, okay? You got Andre, you got Corbin. It's all of these people got one tie that's binding them all together. That is Autumn. So you got ties that bind you, and then you have the tie that binds. Autumn is a tie that binds, okay? She's tethered all of these people to her raggedy life, to her raggedy past, to her sketchy character. Scary. It's a scary place to be, right? Because Autumn is selfish. Autumn just thinks about herself. You tethered to somebody who only thinks of themselves. It's a scary place to be. Autumn is a tie that binds all of these individuals together. Lakeisha Savage. Let's talk about Roulette. Roulette, aka Hades. She's getting that stripper money, baby. She's in competition with the sexy siren, aka Whisper. Okay, and Whisper's over there doing the thing, and they throwing that money, right? And she doing Hades, aka Roulette, is doing her thing. She taking it up top, and Superman and whoa and dropping it down low and popping it and getting that money. She is a challenge in her own right, and she's starting to see with Mercedes gone and they headlining together. She's starting to look at or finally see Whisper for what she is, a competition. Okay, a succubus, right? What you done built up, she eating off of, right? When you nourish yourself, she's suckling off of it, huh? She's starting to see it a bit, right? It's fine, it's okay. While she gathering her money up, homeboy who she had over in the portal to hell room, okay, that she took money for, getting down and giving him that Georgia Dome. Well, now he looking at Whisper, and instead of him wanting to give Whisper 2 stacks to get down and get him that Georgia Dome, he want to give her 2 stacks so that he can go down and get her that Georgia Dome, right? And Roulette points out, gosh, I wish I had been given the option, okay, to land on my back instead of getting down on my knees. And he was like, anyway, you know I'm good for it. Hook it up. See, this how it work. A lot of times young girls, they think they got a good friend. You got you a good friend, and that good friend is the one that lures you out of the house and into the mouth of a dragon. That good friend is the one that tells you take one hit, it ain't gonna hurt you, right? You think that the enemy is gonna come in and he gonna be dragging his knuckles and covered in fur and snarling and big and muscular. It's a old man, ain't it? He's a beast. And sometimes he sends a pretty little birdie in there, and that pretty little birdie is the one that tells you, don't worry about them sharp teeth and them sharp claws. Don't worry about it, girl. Just have fun. Huh? He sends her over to to talk to Whisper about giving it up to him for 2 stacks. And Roulette is like, whatever. She disgusted. She's got a lot of thinking to do, right? And she go out and get in her car and she smoking them on a doobie, Mary Jane, okay? And she thinking that she got red and she got white, and she out there smoking and watching Diamond and Duffy load and unload the goods and the wares, right? The okra. So she's sitting out there in the car, and Duffy walk up and he want to know what's going on with you. What's going on with you? What you need? How can I help you? You stalking me? You following me? What's the problem? Every time I turn around, you show up. And he was like, well, I mean, I think you're beautiful. Yeah. He said, I think you're the finest thing. She's like, the finest thing in this parking lot? He said, the finest thing in the world. She was like, you know what? I mess with you. I do. He's like, I mess with you too. She was like, but you need to know that I'm a hoe. And he was like, well, you know what? Coincidentally, so am I. I'm a hoe too. And she was like, oh, okay then. See, Roulette feels like a tool. These are the ties that's binding her, that's got her all bound up deep down inside. She feel like a tool. She doesn't feel like a goddess. She doesn't feel like a queen, okay? And Duffy, he smells the damsel, right? He smells the damsel. This is his inherent problem. He rolls up on her with his cape whipping in the wind, baby. This is who he is. He is Captain Saberhole, right? Something must have went on with him and his mama, him and his grandmama. Some kind of way he feels compelled. to save those that throw themselves into the deep end of the water. Sometimes when you jump in to save one, you both lose your lives. You both end up drowning. Hmm. Sometimes when one jumps in to save another, both go down. Duffy not careful, okay? Him jumping in to save Roulette. Roulette and the ties that bind her gonna drown them both. If Duffy not careful. If Roulette not careful. Right? Okay, let's move on to Diamond. Now Diamond and Big Bone opened the episode and they getting it in, baby. When I tell you they throwing it back and getting it in, baby, and woo, woo, woo. And he got a nice downward lean to it, you know what I'm saying? And he taking it to the side and all the while he hitting it, hitting it. And she is just enjoying herself. She is just, whoa, he is just lovely. And all he see is Keyshawn's face, and he look away and she bring his face back. Look at me, daddy. Look at me, daddy. And he is like, okay, because all I see is Keyshawn, right? See, now we talk about the ties that have gotten Diamond bound, right? He's got several ties that's got him bound to Keyshawn. Keyshawn is a soul tie. That's what Diamond and Keyshawn, that's a soul tie. See, he committed in his spirit to protect her in season 1. And even though they are apart, even though he has cast her down and sent her on her way, still he is tethered, he is tied to her. Okay, his soul is still tied to hers, right? Okay, come on now. Keyshawn is a tie, a soul tie that's got Diamond bound, okay? It's nothing Big Bone can do. She can't undo that soul tie. It ain't hers to undo. It's nothing that she can undo it. He flips her over and continues to blow her back out, and when he finishes, she complains about the fact that he keeps wearing a condom, because what he put in that condom, she want him to put it in her mouth, and he tells her, no, you're nipping at my heels like a little hungry dog. Okay, we're not gonna have none of that. Okay, I'm not gonna number one, leave my seed anywhere, and number two, you ain't finna be putting no hexes on me, because you done gathered up all my inner strength. Okay, Delilah, you done gathered up all Hercules' inner strength. Okay. And okay, she goes to the kitchen and get her a glass of water, and she looks over and sees that shrine that he done built to Marquise's ring. Okay, and got Marquise's ring there. And when just as she go to touch it, he said, you want your legs to be broken, you want your titties on your back, You walk funny for the next few weeks. She was like, I don't mind walking funny. He was like, yeah, but do you want your titties to be where your back is? What is it? It's protection. You don't seem like a man that needs protection, And he was like, we all need protection. Okay, we all need protection. Okay, and she says, you seem more like a protector. Is that what you've been doing? She asked him why he don't work down at the Pynk no more. And he don't worry about that. Is it because you around there trying to save a hoe? And he was like, where did you hear that from? I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your eyes. Your eyes is heavy and you always got them closed. And next time you getting this good, next time you getting this good, I want to see them pretty brown eyes open and looking directly at me. Okay, daddy? And he was like, well, you ain't got to wait the next time. Let's get this done right here, right now. That ring just looking at him all along. I was like, now somebody done seen that ring and somebody done seen the symbol on that ring. Okay, so when somebody come around with a picture of this ring and this symbol, or just a picture of the symbol, okay, it's stupid, Diamond. It's dumb. All right, you gonna have a chick at your house, at least cover up your shrine. I don't have your shrine open and exposed to any type of energy. It's Hoodoo 101. It's Hoodoo 101, right? And mind your business. 102. Okay. So they end up getting together and right there in front of the ring. See, Diamond is busy trying to guard his rod, his semen, and his soul. But what he don't realize, his soul is already entrenched. He's another one that's tethered. Okay, that's tethered and tied to what Autumn got going on, to what Autumn had going on and currently has going on. He's also got the ties that bind, like we said, is Keyshawn. Oh, Big Bone. Now, Big Bone is a daredevil damsel. She what I call a daredevil damsel, right? She is in some invisible competition with others to be seen as the most valuable, right? The height of her ambition level is to be seen as the top bitch, the bottom bitch, the downest one. That's her value. Her value is tied into being seen as a rider. That chick. You know what I'm saying? Any way you want to do it, you can do it. Any way you want to clean your feet or pee or poop, I'll do it. I'm that girl. I'm a rider like that. Them the ties that's binding her. This unseen need to compete in a way that is self-destructive and self-harming. Come on now. Come on, listen. Clifford grandmama got COVID. They ain't said it, but Clifford grandmama got COVID, y'all. That's just what it is. Clifford grandmama got COVID. He in the house with her. He get a call from ha chew. Okay, the lady that sneezed in the health department lady face. The stripper that sneezed in the health department lady face. And she coughing and wheezing. She got COVID. Grandmama got COVID. And there in turn, since he is there taking care of Big Mama, he don't know yet. He ain't put it together. He kind of put it together, but he ain't put it together. She got COVID, and so do he by proxy. It ain't come out yet, but I'm just letting y'all know. Clifford grandmama got COVID. Let's talk about Mercedes. Mercedes gathered up a bunch of groceries, and she taking it over there to Shell and Terica. When she get there, Terica not there, and Shell is drunk as Cooter Brown. Now she ain't drunk, but she drunk, right? She the next day drunk, right? Which is slightly drunk, and she still probably blow like a 6 something, but she ain't drunk, right? She ain't passed out no more. She upright, right? And smelling like old sour vinegar. Old nasty piece of pickle that's been left out in the sun. She smell like rot gut and sweat. You know what I'm saying? She comes to the door, and I mean, she's a whole 2 shades darker. She's so sullen, and she been down in the muck and the mire and the mud and the booze so long, baby. She's 2 shades darker. She need a hot bath with a cap full of bleach in it, right? She need to sit out in the sun a little bit and let her blood warm up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Put some life in instead of some booze into your system. Some life back into your skin, right? She come to the door dragging and a half a piece of wig and even skimpy a piece of house coat, and Mercedes come in. She want to know where Terica is. She over there with Devon. Listen, what is going on with you? She sees all the bottles in the trash cans. You drank all of them by yourself. Don't worry about what I drank. Okay? You know what? You need to get yourself together. You need to straighten yourself up. Last time I was here, you called Terica a mistake. Oh, she'll say, I did not. What does a stripper know? You know what I'm saying? And she said, I would never say that. Yes, you did. She was driving your car drunk, and while you was drunk, she was driving your car. She got pulled over for not having a license, and you called her a mistake. I would never do those things. I have never. Mercedes it takes this moment and she says, listen, why don't you let me take Terica for a little while until you can get yourself back on track? You can pull yourself together. And she is crying. She's like, I see right through you. I see what you trying to do. You will never get Terica as long as I live. You will never have Terica. So you take yourself back over to that ghetto 1 bedroom shack you got over there. And Mercedes is like, you know what? I'll never ever be good enough. I will never ever be good enough. She grabs her keys and walks out. When she walks out, she calls Terica and Terica don't answer. Okay, she hang up from that and it's Coach on the phone. Coach won't the Mercedes experience, and she was like, okay daddy, I'm coming over. He's like, yeah, my wife here, Farrah here too. She's like, oh, I thought it was gonna just be me and you. And he was like, well, happy wife, happy life. And she's like, oh. So Terica called her back and she answered, but Terica hang up. Okay, she ain't got time to deal right now. She gotta go get herself up and dressed and up into Memphis, cause Coach is waiting on her. So she gets there and they sitting on the couch and they having a good time and they enjoying themselves and they snuggling all up, all three of them. And he tells her he gonna go fix a drink and get her money, right? And she was like, okay daddy, you ready for that Mercedes experience? He's like, let me just get myself together. So he goes in the back and pulls the money out and mixes up his concoction of Viagra, Red Bull, and cabbage juice. And meanwhile, Farrah there on the couch and she trying to reach down in between Mercedes' legs. Mercedes said, "You're not trying to mess up my bag, are you?" She was like, "No. I'm just trying to feel that good." And she was like, Mercedes was like, listen. This what we gonna do. We gonna act like none of this other stuff ever happened. We just gonna play this straight and get this money, and let's not upset him with this, okay? And she was like, Farrah was like, upset him with what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, we on the same page, right? Okay, we on the same page. So they get down into it, and Coach is chugging along, you know. I'm stiff. Just in and out. Boy, he is working it too. He's He's trying to have some type of movement. I mean, the pond is not, there's not a ripple or a shimmy on top of the water. Like, he ain't really making no difference whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But Mercedes is here to play a role. So she is like, ow, 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 ow. And Farrah understands. It's like, I know, girl. I know. Let me do you a favor. And she grabs the wheel from Coach, right? And she gets the pumping it. Pumping it. And Mercedes said, "Oh, this it right here. Oh, this what I want. Oh." And she's and she gets to the top of that roller coaster. Oh. And when she hangs there a little bit and she goes down the side, whoosh. Oh, and they clutching hands, breathing deep. And Farrah is so proud of herself because as hard as Coach Candyman tried to get it going, baby, he could not get it going. But she is just a man. She is just man enough for Mercedes. Coach was like, "What the? Get the you itches is bucket, aren't you?" And they were like, no. He was like, no, me. I've been married to you 19 years. You ain't never ever been in the caduceus like this. You all into this meow, huh? And she was like, that's right. Mercedes was like, no. Woo. I haven't got my money yet. Woo. And that's right. I've been married to you for 19 years and you still don't know that I like meow. You don't know nothing about me, huh? You, my hopes and dreams and the fact that I like meow. He said, you two niches get up out of here. It's over. The deal is over. And Pharaoh's like, that's not fair. A deal is a deal. You have a contract. He said, I don't give a good god darn. Mercedes is like, everybody just calm down. Everybody just, let's just breathe. Let's just breathe. Let's just breathe. Let's reset. And he was like, get your ish and get out. He goes to gather up his stacks of money. I was like, no, we would have had to have a conversation about that. Because I did what you did get into the gates. Okay, it ain't my fault. Okay, it ain't my fault that nobody knew you was inside. Okay, but you did get inside them gates. Okay, so therefore, you might not owe me the rest, but you owe me this. Oh, we can call the peoples. We can call the folks. And me and you go fight too. Yeah. Yeah. You gonna kick me out with a stack of bloody ones if you do get me out of here. Right? Farrah just gives her shoes like, girl, so sad. Sorry. Mercedes got ties that bind her too. She got generational curses. Them the ties that's binding her. Okay. She's sitting at home and she's sulking, taking that wig off. She done got down to where rubber meets the road and basically sold her soul to the devil to get this little bit of money. Got embarrassed, got casted out. It ain't a bad thing though. Sometimes God will cast you down hard to the ground. Okay? Just to save your fool life. Just to save your fool life. Right? She's sitting there and drinking. It's a knock at the door. She go to the door and there's Terica. Terica, what's going on with you? Terica, what's wrong? And she scoops her up and she holds her and Terica's like, I don't want to say it. Just tell me what's going on, Terica. She reaches in her back pocket and pulls out a pregnancy test. It say yes, positive. Terica pregnant. And this is the moment that the episode goes off. When we see that Terica is pregnant. Mercedes gathers her up and holds her tightly. Mercedes' ties that bind her are these generational curses. Okay? Curses surrounding the women in her family, the money, aspiration, ambition, follow through. Yeah. These are the ties that bind Mercedes. Lastly, let's talk about Lil Murda and Teak. Teak is perpetually sad. Murda sees it. He sees it. Okay. He knows that Teak is not just angry or just mad or just out of sorts, but Lil Murda knows that Teak is profoundly sad. He doesn't quite know what to do, but he knows he has to do something. And he's made up in his mind that he is going to give Teak a day. And in this day, he gonna rally him. He gonna just be with him. He's gonna comfort him. He's gonna support him. They gonna pal around. He's bought him a car. It's supposed to be from their organization. The gang they run with. Bought him a car. And every opportunity we get, the camera gets to pan to Teak, we see this profound sadness on Teak. He's sitting on top of the car, and they're all out there. They're dancing, and they've got the motorcycles and all of their cars. It's like it's one of them settings where everybody gather. Rep they sets, whatever, and they he's doing wheelies in the car and all of that. But also when he gets the car and he breaks down, and Lil Murda rallies him. You okay? You okay? It's okay. You okay? The girls want to talk to Teak, but Teak, he got to Lil Murda got to rush him off because Teak right now, Teak is he don't want people to see him like this. He don't want him to be exposed in this way. So he's protecting him from being exposed, but also he's trying to, still keep his head up, still keep his head up, still keep his energy up. It is a difficult task. It takes him to get a haircut. Okay, and they kid and talk a little bit and about the music and about the lyrics and about what are you going to do now that you're out of jail? And Teak says, I'm just going to try to stay out. And when he turns him around in the mirror to show him his haircut, you see in his face this profound sadness. Now, I watched the episode twice. When I first saw it, I was just watching it, right? When I saw it the second time, it's that hindsight that you don't often get. Okay, see, I've been in this setting before where I had someone that I knew and I loved, and I thought I could say I could do something, right? Only to find out that I could not say enough and I could not do enough, okay? And I replayed those moments, those hours, those minutes right before I saw this individual, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But here, looking at this episode 6, this moment that we're having with the Teak character, watching it the second time, I see the profound sadness in him, even in the midst of his laughing and appearing to be cheered up. He is profoundly sad, and when he gets the car, it's exciting, but it saddens him that a little bit more. And the haircut, it's a good moment. I look good and neat, but in his eyes, in his reflection, you see the heaviness that is on him, right? And they go and they have wings, and here is another opportunity for Lil Murda for them to just talk. Him and Teak to just talk and hang out like they used to, and him just really support Teak in the middle of everything he's got going on. He can't put it all together, but he knows it's not something. This is different. This is different. Okay. He knows that Teak is sad, and he just can't rally him, right? And when they're in there having wings, and Murda kids with him about it being a date. He's just trying to see where his head is at. Is this sadness from not having a car, not having your own money? Because we can fix that. Is this sadness from you not being pressed and looking nice and fresh, and clean up? Because we can fix that. Is it an empty belly? I noticed you haven't been eating in a while. I'm glad to see you eating, and Teak forces himself to eat the wings down, and them talking. He's trying to figure it out. Is it us? Is this a date? Is this what we got going on? Remember how in the jail this, in the jail that, and you and we and us, and boo boo boo. Teak says, tell me about Cliff, and Murda takes a break and starts telling him about Clifford. Oh, he is the wind beneath my wings. He's a fresh cup of coffee in the morning. You know what I'm saying? He a ice cold beer when you having a hamburger. Okay, he's that creaminess sound when you stir your mac and cheese before you put it in the oven, huh? He's all that to me. Okay. Okay. And it's a look in his eyes. He said, but I messed up. He said, I messed up. See, he was gone for a minute to Clifford land, but now he's back in Teak land, and I messed up. No. Listen to me, Teak. I messed up. I want you to know I messed up. It was me. I messed up. Okay? It's a moment. It's a moment. Teak breaks that stare. You messed up? He said, I messed up. No, man, you ain't messed up. You ain't messed up nothing. You ain't messed up nothing. You all right with me, right? So they leave there, and Teek's got a few other stops. He goes by a trap house he used to live in. And Lil Murda don't know why he going, but he on the phone with Waldy, right? While Teak go to the door, and he on FaceTime with Waldy, and Waldy is like, now that Rome is OD'd, and Lil Murda's like, it's so funny that you should think he OD'd. Why? Why is that funny? You know he was always snorting. I mean, is cocaine so regular? Now that people don't OD from it? Yes, they do. They OD from it plenty, so it's not that big of a deal. Move on, Lil Murda. And Walt is like, listen, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do in this. In this moment, I don't know for sure if the admiration we feel for Waldy is if it's gonna be long lasting. Right now he seems like a hero. He seems like our own Black Knight, right? At the same time, I don't know, Waldy, you kind of scaring me a little bit. It's a good thing that a Lil Murda phone wasn't charged, because I don't know what Waldy was finna say. Oh, because I got rid of him, and I'll get rid of bloop bloop. Slow your roll, Waldy. Slow your roll. Now, I don't want you out here poisoning folks' cereals and things. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Lacing people's blunts. I don't want you doing that now, okay? Pump your brakes, right? So T goes on inside, and he has this moment when he goes inside. It's like he's been transported back in time, back to 1994. Something terrible happened to Teak back in 1994, and he opens the door to the closet, and he sees a little boy standing there, and the little boy's got blood on his neck and his shoulder. We don't know where it came from, and we know that Teak is having a dream because he's startled out of it by Lil Murda, who had found his gun in the glove box and said, why would you come up in here without your gat? And he was like, come on, man, you straight? I'm straight. Jarred him up out of this nightmare / dream / vision, and walks him outside. You all right? He said, man, that grew up in that house. He said, you used to live there. Okay, put all that behind you, Teak. Put it behind you. Okay, I feel like you coming undone. I feel like you unraveling. Come out of the past and come forward. Your future is bright. Pull yourself together. Teak is like, right, you right, man. You right. And they get on in the car, and they go on off to the lake. They get to the lake, and they out there, and they dropping beats, and Lil Murda's on the hood, and he's playing his beats on the hood. Ain't nobody don't pass me. I'm just so fresh, so clean. Ain't nobody don't pass me. I'm just so fresh, so clean. So fresh and so clean. Don't you think I'm so sexy? I'm just so fresh, so clean. Okay, it's a good moment. And then Lil Murda plays another beat, and Teak drops the lyrics to that. Now they really Lil Murda's lyrics. Lil Murda would write lyrics for Teak while he was in the hole. He was in solitary. Okay, and Lil Murda once again tries to take some responsibility. I wanna tell you that I thank you for holding me down and looking out for me, and you got me through, and it's my fault that you ended up in solitary confinement all them years, and you ain't been the same. You have not been the same since you came out of solitary confinement, and I feel like that was my fault that you got put in the hole. It's my fault that you ain't never been right since. And Teak says to him without hesitation, without any sense of doubt in his voice or in his mind, he says to him, I I haven't been the same since 1994, since I was 7 years old, since my mama snapped and took an 8-inch blade and buried it deep in my sister's neck, and in my other sister, my brother's chest, and my 8-month-old baby sister's head. All I could do then was run, run as fast as my 7-year-old legs can carry me and hide. But I listened to them scream in pain, in agony, in what seemed like for hours, until it just went silent. It's a moment. It's a moment that Lil Murda don't know what to do with, right? It's in this moment that he realizes that the ties that bind for Teak is that he was mortally wounded at the age of 7. Now, when I say mortally wounded, I don't mean he fell dead and he's walking around like a ghost. I mean mortally wounded, like something in him broke and died a horrible death that day. And all these years he has just walked around alive, literally, but figuratively, dying slowly. He has been dying slowly from these wounds, from this mortal wounding that he received at 7 years old. Whew, it's a moment. It's a moment. Like I said, Lil Murda realizes that Teak is broken in a way that nothing can help. Nothing is going to work this time. You can see him come into reconciliation with that. Not verses like he did in prison, not one-on-one time just hanging out and laughing and reminiscing, not a haircut, not buying him a car or the subtle, gentle touch that Lil Murda gave him at lunch, just to let him know that he cares. Not the comfort of a peen, not those words of empowerment. Teak is tired, and he says it, I'm tired. They get in the car and Lil Murda said, where to now? He said, no, I'm taking you somewhere. I'm gonna drop you off, and then I'm gonna do me for a little while. And Lil Murda says, no. We gon' hang out together. I'm not leaving you, because you just gonna get sadder and sadder, and you gonna sink deeper and deeper into this. And I want you to come out of this. I want you to know that tomorrow's a brighter day. Tomorrow's a brighter day for you. All I got is tonight, Teak says. I'm just trying to enjoy right now, this moment tonight. That's all I want to do. Okay? Tomorrow is not for me. Tonight is. Okay, and Lil Murda's heart sinks a little bit lower. He realizes, oh no. And Teak says, no, I'm taking you and dropping you off. And Lil Murda's like, you're gonna have to pull me out of this car. And he pulls up. He pulls it up to his head. He pulls that gat up to his head, and he says, I said, get out of the car, Murda. Get out the car. And Murda says, I'm not. Don't do this. You better than this. You smarter than this. You stronger than this. The early bird gets the worm. You know what I'm saying? If you fail, try again. He says, nothing beats a failure but a try. You are a winner. Success is yours. Money cometh to me now. You bigger than this. Bump cancer. You stronger than that. You better than. And just pray about it. And you got to have more faith. And you got to do better. And you got to be stronger, and you got to be wiser. You can outdo this. Just put it out of your mind. Just don't stop thinking about it. Don't focus on it. Just look for ahead. Stay positive. Don't give your joy away. Don't stay. And it's just bing, 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 bing. Slides right off of him. All of the things that people say to rally you, to strengthen you, and bring you up out of sadness and darkness. It's not enough. It don't work. The sadness is louder. The sadness is bigger. It's managed to grow to a place that it has pushed out everything else. Sights, sounds, smells all lead Teak back to a place of darkness. Nothing's going to work this time. And there is this moment. Where right before he does it, where I am not sure if Teak is saying, I'm not leaving you because I feel like you won't do it if I'm here. Or, Lil Murda is saying, I'm not leaving you because you won't do it because I'm here. You wouldn't dare do it in front of me. Or was he saying, I'm not leaving you because even if you want to go, I will be with you when you leave. I am not sure. This moment was so powerful that I just wasn't sure. You guys tell me what you think. It goes off. Okay, flash a light. Few seconds we see Lil Murda stumble out of the car. That side of his white jogger set is stained with blood. Falls to his knees and he cries and somehow manages to get himself up and over to Clifford's house. And there he sits on the front porch and he is the other side of shocked. The other side of okay. And Clifford's grandmama answers the door. She got COVID. She think it's her daddy. Okay. Clifford comes to the door and he sees Lil Murda, and Lil Murda says, I am not okay. And Clifford says, oh, what's going on? And he just hugs him. He says, I'm not okay. And he just breaks down crying. And Clifford gathers him up and gathers Granny COVID up and takes Granny and Lil Murda and himself and COVID all back into the house together. Lil Murda, whose song, by the way, was on the radio. And it was a moment that he was able to share with Teak. Even in this moment of rejoicing and celebrating Lil Murda having a song on the radio and Teak acknowledging you made it, you got a song on the radio. It was something about that moment. I think he said to himself, he's gonna be fine without me. Again, looking at it the second time, you see all of the sadness. If you ever been through it, you never get to go back. You have a ton of what ifs. But here we have an opportunity where we can go back and look at the same scene we just saw, but now focusing just on the sadness. You'll see it was in every scene with Teak. The sadness. It was three of them that rode together this night. It was Lil Murda, it was Teak, and it was sadness. Right? Okay, and so Lil Murda runs to the only soul that could possibly understand, the only place where he can rest his own soul for a minute while he gets his head together and while he mourns his friend, his lover, his protector, his biggest supporter, Thaddeus Wilkes, aka Teak. He is no more. And Lil Murda is not okay. He is not okay. Okay? We see the ties that bind Teak. The fact that he was mortally wounded. The fact that he came from a mother that obviously suffered from some mental health struggles as well. And we see Lil Murda. Lil Murda has the ties that bind him is this DL thing, you know. It's tied into who he is, this branding of who he is, but what his brand is, but it does nothing for who he really is. Okay, and the DL is the thing that he has held on to, and is the thing that has held him down. Now I fear that we see a new tie that binds, right? And this is what self-harm does, you guys. This is what self-harm does. Self-harm, the blowback covers every part of those who remain lives. If it's at home, that house is never the same again. Right? If it's in the car, that car, you'll never be able to drive that car again. I promise you, you won't. You won't. Huh? If it was the day you heard your song on the radio, it stains that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so pervasive, this act, that it ripples through the timeline of others' lives like throwing a stone. Whatever was going on before you threw that stone is no more. All that remains is the aftershock of the stone. For whatever ties that Lil Murda had that was binding him, this DL thing, right? This hard brand exterior and this soft, thoughtful, kind comfort, which is what he really is. But now, Teak shall forever be a tie that binds, because of how it all went down, how it all jumped off when Teak decided to leave this plane and go to the next. This episode, I mean, it was so many layers to this episode. It was so many layers to what is happening in this episode. And I love to focus on the scenes that we saw, yes, but I want us to just slip in and out between the lines of things, walk in and out between the raindrops of this situation, you guys. It is so layered. It is so layered. There is no one that has not been touched by this subject matter on this entire episode, whether it be verbal and physical abuse, whether it be mental health, whether it be drugs and alcohol, whether it be, teen pregnancy, self-harm, abuse of all sorts. How one tethers themselves to you, or tethers you to them, or you tether yourself to them, or you allow yourself to be tied, or you allow to take all of their things, all of their sorrow, all of their pain, all of their mental instability, and tie it around your neck. These are the ties that bind, and the tie that keeps us bound, right? Y'all tell me what y'all think of this episode. I would love to hear it. I welcome you guys to share your stories down in the comments. Hit me up in the DMs, Miss Honey 8 on Instagram. Feel free to hit me up. And yeah, Tell me what you guys think about this episode. Until next time, honeybees, be safe. Take care of yourself. Okay? God's grace and peace, mercy be with you always. Okay? Until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.